Okay, today I want to take a look at the Demeking from Zollmen. This is a different version from the one that we saw previously. In the one we saw previously, the neck was more lean forward, and there was a bit more of a bend in the neck, so it's a lot shorter. And the face of the sculpt is also very different. It felt more monster-like and more aggressive and more cool, whereas this version is a bit more cute and more goofy. After reviewing the sculpt and looking at the different colorways, I finally decided that I preferred this one the most, and switched in my other Demeking for this one. So this is the one that I have now, and I'm very happy with it. I prefer the goofiness to it a bit more. I really wanted one with a neck that's a bit more up. I think it just fits a bit better. This is all just personal opinion, because the other one looks really cool. It's more aggressive, it's cool, it's more monstrous. So it depends on what you like and what you want to fit into your collection, really. But overall, the sculpt is fantastic. If you guys watch my 2022 end of the year top toys, you might have heard me talk about this Zollmen sculpt itself, and how I think the sculpt itself and the silhouette of it is really good, and how the way they sculpt kaijus are just fantastic. I think they're really good at sculpting kaijus, because I think they sculpt like different types. They sculpt like robots, they sculpt kaiju, and the fantasy toy line was like a more, I don't know, more characteristic figures, more characters, more cutesy figures. But overall, I think my personal preference would be how they sculpt the kaiju line, if I can say so. And I think it has to do with the way that they make the silhouette of the kaiju look so good. Well, I think that's just such a hard thing to do with something like kaiju. I don't know how they do it. It's actually really, really cool, and really, because they did it a lot of times. It's not just this time, right? My favorites would be this, the Maza and the Tempura. The silhouette of them all is just really good. At various angles, it looks really nice, especially on the shelf, and very eye-catching. And I think it boils down to the silhouette of it. The colorway sure does help, but the silhouette is really what makes it, because you can just do the same sculpt with different colorways, right? You can always. Sorry, if you don't like the colorway, you can just do another one. You can repaint it, paint it over, whatever. So yeah. And this guy, the arms move, and the shell comes off, and there's a little thing inside. But it's a bit hard to do right now. I don't have my blow dryer with me, so I can't do that and show you guys. But I really like how they the details that they put into this. You guys can see, it's very well done. And then the even the hands and the foot. So I think it's really cool that you have something that has so much detail, but then when you look at it and far away, the silhouette is still really cool. It's really nice. You're like, oh, this looks good. And then you look at the detail and you're like, oh, this is sculpted really well as well. The only caveat would be the ball joint, but I think that's what you have to do to kind of have this kind of effect. To be able to do a ball joint, it needs to be like this. It's a bit of a bummer, but that's just how it has to be designed, so that it can give it that more posability and playability. You don't always need that, as we saw with the Papora, but I think it's a really nice choice on this toy itself, with something that has an emphasis on the neck, being a snail figure. So it gives it more fun ways to pose. I prefer to put it on have it neck and a lean in one direction or the other, and then having it not directly in the middle, and then having one of its arms a bit up, so it looks a bit more goofy, mid action. And that's my preference in the way to display it. I think it looks really good in various angles, if you guys can see. We'll start moving it into different angles, and you can see how that feels. So I'm very happy to be able to own this version. I think this will be my personal preference is to look for a sculpt and find my favorite colors in it. So this is it. So I'm very happy to be able to own this version, especially. I don't see them making these guys anymore, because recently he's been to a few conventions, right? He's also solo shows, and he has put out toys for them, like Space Guys, Paporas, Mazas, Zoodons, and even some new sculpts. But this guy hasn't been for the last few years. So I don't know what happened, if the licensing is gone, or if they lost the mode or something. But I think then this makes it a bit more sought after, more collectible. It's very hard to find these guys actually, or any Zollmen figure to be honest. But now with the new events, I think that's good. You get more colorways. It's actually, you see them a bit more in the markets now. But this sculpt I haven't seen, so I had to go through, look at the archive, pick the colorway that I preferred, and got lucky enough to be able to snag one up, which I was very fortunate for. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, this is it, the Zollmen Demeking. You can let me know which Zollmen sculpts you prefer and which Demeking you prefer, right? If you prefer this one that looks a bit more goofy like a snail, or if you prefer the one that looked a bit more cool than my other video, you can let me know what you guys thought. Yeah, and which colorways you prefer. So yeah, this is it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. Thanks. Take care. Bye bye.